So Honda has unveiled some new information about the 2023 CRV. Today I'm going to dig into what some of these changes are and my opinions of it, as well as some of the numbers that we all want to know about. Welcome back to All Cars, y'all. I'm John. So settle in, because I'm a Honda fan. Grab your coffee, sit with me for a few minutes, and let's talk about these changes, because this is the 6th generation of the CRV, and it's arguably Honda's most important model, as SUVs have become more important than sedans, and did not realize that this is the 25th year of the CRV, and this is America's best-selling CRV, best-selling SUV in that time period. And Honda is not playing small with this change, and I think that's really smart and very timely of them. With certainly the Rogue out there, the RAV4 selling so well, recently redesigned Equinox, Honda's been moving in making their SUVs look a little more butch, and I think it's very welcome, with the CRV currently looking a little bit like a melted bar of soap left in the sun. Now they are making a big move into more hybrid, in fact making the hybrid the top 2 models available on the new CRV, and they've redone their naming structure a little bit. So you've got the EX and the EXL with the 1.5 liter gas engine, and the Sport Touring with the hybrid engine. We'll cover a little bit more details on those in just a minute. But Honda is really playing up the stance of the new CRV, talking about the increase in dimensions, the increase in structural rigidity, and, quote, premium proportions. So let's start off with what that actually means. So exterior-wise, they've increased the wheelbase by 1.6 inches. They've made the overall length 2.7 inches longer, and they've increased the width by about 0.4 inches to, quote, give it a stronger, more aggressive presence. They actually talk a lot about the position of the A-pillar at the front. They have moved it, the base of it, 4.7 inches rearward, 2.8 inches outward, and 1.4 inches lower. I think Honda is making a concerted effort to get back to their low cowl of the past, and it's very, very welcome from this fan right here. Interior wise, they've made a lot of changes here, and I like what they're doing. Now the base level of the EX and the Sport are both getting a 7-inch touchscreen, while the EXL and the Sport Touring are both getting a 9-inch, and those upper levels at the EXL and the Sport Touring also get wireless Apple CarPlay and in-car charging as well. From interior dimensions, they actually say that, quote, the 2023 CRV has the most cargo rooms in the model's history, with 36.3 cubic feet available behind the rear seats. That's interesting, because I went over here and checked, and the current one has 39.2. But what Honda is doing is the rear load floor in the EX and the EXL can be lowered, which gives you 39.3. So yes, technically it is a little bit more than the current outgoing model. Now what we all want to know is the engines, of course, and so that EX and the EXL have their 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's been massaged, now producing 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. The Sport and the Sport Touring, 2-liter engine, 204 horsepower combined system, and 247 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty nice. The base one that I just did a review on felt peppy enough, but never really like it wanted to play, never really exciting. I kind of like that they're making the hybrid the upper level here, and they are forecasting 50% of their sales will be with that hybrid system. Probably the last model we see before they go electric, but nobody said that yet. That's just an opinion. Now they've made a lot of technology changes here. Number one, the Honda Sensing Suite is using a new wide-angle camera and millimeter wave radar. Blind spot information is now standard. Also, our traffic jam assist, low-speed braking control, and traffic sign recognition, and more natural responses tuned into the adaptive cruise control with low-speed follow and lane keeping assist. But the CRV has gone ahead and also added a driver attention monitor, which issues a warning on the dash when it senses the driver is becoming inattentive. I like that. And a standard seatbelt reminder and rear seat reminder, new to the CRV, reminding people to check the back seat that they didn't leave a kid back there. So let's get to my opinions on this, and well, I like almost everything. They haven't talked about pricing yet. I expect it to remain competitive and increase, but not very much, simply to stay competitive with the other models on the market right now. I really like the changes to the front grille, the more aggressive stance. A lot of what they've talked about here should give slightly better handling responses, I would assume, but we're not really hearing what the weight is going to be with these structural and size changes as well. I think the interior looks fantastic and a nice step up from a relatively basic, if nicely assembled, interior on the current model. Now, as I mentioned, I did very recently a review of the previous generation CRV, and while it strikes me as a vehicle that I understand why it sells so well, it's easy to live with. The doors open easy, everything's wide, everything's so easy to live with, but it lacked a certain Honda-ness to me. So while I'm pretty excited about the CRV, I'm not ready to say it's my top choice yet. In spite of my love of Hondas, gosh, I really still like the Rogue, and I don't really like the RAV4, but that previous generation lacked a certain Honda-ness, and it felt a little tinny, and it was a little noisy in the doors. It felt a little, well, cheap, for lack of a better word. Substantial, but cheap. Well, honestly, I want to drive it before I really form an opinion of it, because if they haven't made it more quiet and made those doors feel just a little more substantial when you touch and when you shut them, I don't know that this is vaulted to the top yet. So I'm going to hold my final opinion until I have a chance to drive it. Right now, all of this is a welcome change to the CRV, bringing it up to being, I think, much more competitive with its recently refreshed counterparts. Let me know your thoughts below, guys. Thanks. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Please like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and please note I've got a Patreon. If you want to see your name up in lights below, please consider supporting independent creators such as myself who help bring you reviews, histories, and news opinions.